to the Oakland Coliseum for the ladies free skate. First in the second last group to skate is the Canadian champion, Karen Preston. It's been quite a year for her. She regained her national championship, first one in '89, 8th at the Olympics. She moved from 12th in Albertville with a strong, long program. Here she's in 7th place, looking to move up again.
Well, one thing that's happened to Karen over the last year is that she's become a very consistent skater, and in fact, all year long in her original programs in competition, she has never missed an element. That really gives you a tremendous level of confidence. And opens with a beautiful triple sow double toe combination. But she doubled out on the triple flip.
Triple Lutz at the other end of the ring. One thing we saw in Karen yesterday in the original program that we haven't seen from her very often is a smile, and I'm hoping she finds it out there again today because it really does help her look a lot. That I saw at the Olympics, it was a little bit of attack. I thought she was just a little bit more cautious out here today, a little bit more tight. She looked a little bit stiff and tried to pull up on her toe on a number of her landings, but nonetheless, a great skate.
That has the Canadian flags waving. There's Kurt Browning acknowledging the Canadian champion's performance, and Karen's really enjoyed skating here because of the Canadian element in the crowd.
Here's the triple Lutz. She gets nice height and a very solid landing there.
And this was her triple combination, triple sow cow, and it's important to keep the run moving on the landing, back up into the double toe, nice flow throughout. Those two elements were perhaps the ones that had the best flow on her landings.
Called herself the comeback kid at the Olympics, and it has been a critical comeback year for her, she said, or at least hinted that had she not qualified for the Olympic and World team this year, that retirement was a very strong possibility. But now it's full steam ahead for the Olympics in 1994.
Well, she certainly has to feel good about the way her year has gone. After having missed the team for a couple of years, to get back on it again and then to have a year like this really makes you feel like you made the right decision, really makes it all worthwhile.
It was really weird because I started out and I thought, okay, I feel really great. And then my knees started to get really stiff. I know which I was.
Well, you heard Karen's reaction to her performance, that it might have been a little tentative because of that. 5-5 from the Australian judge, 4-8 from Vanessa Riley of Great Britain. Ellen Burka, her coach, and of course Ellen's daughter Petra was the world champion in 1965. There are the artistic marks. She has a third place mark from Great Britain, 2 second place marks. The rest are first place marks for Karen Preston. And we'll be back with more of the World Figure Skating as we continue our coverage of the women's free program. This is Alice Sue Claeys of Belgium, 17 years of age. She was 4th at the World Junior Championship and right now in 8th position in this World Championship.
Well, she opens with a very nice triple loop jump. Great speed going into it, and she really does have that quality. She really covers the ice well with good speed out there. And now triple sow cow. She's off to a very good start.
Position and is really attacking this program like she's been here for a couple of years already. From the ballet of Coppelia. She trains in Rochester with the same coach as Gregor Filipowski of Poland, Barbara Kozłowska.
first saw Alice Sue at the Junior Worlds in Ottawa back in December, and I was most impressed with her then. I was somewhat surprised when I heard that the Belgian Olympic Federation decided she wouldn't go to Olympics, and I think it was their loss, because when you look at this comet, this triple loop, it's beautiful. It covers so much ice, has so much speed. She really has a lot of things going for her.
Well, she really has the qualities of a senior world's competitor. And as you saw out there today, she had absolutely no inhibitions. She was just attacking the program. She maybe didn't have the technical ability of, say, Karen Preston. She didn't do a triple Lutz, but boy, she is going to be a skater of the future.
Very commanding out there, and she's one of the young, new women in this event. She's only 17 years old.
In the class of Alu Chen, Laëtitia Hubert, Surya Bonaly, Yuka Sato, and there's Barbara Kozaska. She is the Belgian champion, and that's where she first started to skate, but she was born in Atlanta, Georgia, lives in Burnsville, Minnesota, and she is a University of Minnesota student in her second year at the tender age of 17, so she's a very bright young woman. The judges, 5 of the top 11 coming into this were teenagers, and look at the marks for Alice Claeys. 5.3 up to a 5.6 from the Australian judge. 5.3 and 5.6. And this is going to push Karen Preston back a spot, I would think. Second set of marks. And they are just as impressive. She has 7 first-place marks, a second-place mark, and a third-place mark. She moves ahead of Karen Preston, and Alice Claeys is the current leader. Back with more. Welcome back to the 92 World Figure Skating Championships. We talked about one of the young rising stars, Alice Claeys. This is Patricia Neske. She's 25 years of age in perhaps her final amateur competition. Currently, Patricia standing in 9th spot.
Well, like Alice Claeys, Patricia has exercised the option that because of her parental situation, she could skate for a different country. And the Americans have always been very strong in the ladies event, and therefore these girls realize that perhaps I cannot represent the United States of America, but I can get to the World Championships by representing that country of my parents' heritage. most difficult jump Patricia attempted was a triple toe. She doesn't have a triple loop, triple lutz, triple flip, or triple axel, but what she did well. And what was impressive today was the fact that she skated through every jump. She, in previous efforts, has only skated up to them and then had difficulty. And it's so important that you think right through the jump.
Well, she's got a really good jumping style. You see, she gets right over top of her skating leg so that when she lands, she is right there. She's not leaning, she's right over top of it. And it surprises me that she doesn't have more triples in her repertoire because she is such a good jumper.
Paul, you mentioned that she was American-born and learned how to skate at Culver City Rink in Los Angeles. She is a native of Harbor City, California, but her parents are German. And in 1984, she realized she was not going to be able to represent the United States and went to her parents' homeland and still lives there. Works at the Union Bank of Bavaria. And she skates during her lunch hours, so she doesn't put in the same practice time as many of the other competitors. It's her coach, Peter Jonas. She was the bronze medalist at the European Championships and hoping to improve on a 13th place showing at the Olympic Games.
Well, like so many competitors here in Oakland, she was one that benefited from a much better skate here than which she had in Albertville.
Her best showing ever at the Worlds was a 4th in 1989 when school figures were still part of the equation, and she was a strong school figure skater. There are her marks, 5.0 up to 5.4, the technical range. We'll see how these compare with Karen Preston. Second set of marks. She has second place marks from 6 of the judges, make that 7, but a 4th place mark and a 5th place mark. And so, Claeys is still the leader, Karen Preston still second, and Patricia Neske moves into 3rd place. Back with more from Oakland in a moment.
So often the skaters tend to focus on their jumps during the many hours of practice and to pay less attention to the spins. However, the power of well-performed spins in the pursuit of the complete program should not be underestimated.
We are watching one of the best spinners in the world, Nathalie Krieg from Switzerland, at her practice session at this year's Europeans. This is a layback spin, but no ordinary one. Look at the arch of Nathalie's back. And now her variation with her free leg. Throughout, she maintains a remarkable center of gravity. Here you see how Nathalie takes a normal sit spin and varies her arm positions to make it unique. She moves into a Bielmann spin with extraordinary flexibility. Here is what Nathalie can pack into a combination spin, a camel spin with illusion, a traditional sit spin, then with her arm variation, her amazing layback, into a Bielmann spin, where she even increases her speed, to a back sit spin on the other foot, and an upright spin, this time with her leg in front. The secret to Nathalie's success is her ability to center the spin and to rotate on one spot without traveling from it. This allows her to maintain a continuum of speed and multitude of rotations.
As you can see, much can be done with spins. With the growth of our sport in so many different directions, perhaps the time has come for the skaters to change their emphasis from yet another jump rotation to the pursuit and development of new and unique spins.
Up next, it'll be Sato from Japan when our coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships continues from California right after.
Sato. We are back at the World Figure Skating Championships in Oakland, California. There's one of the many impressive young skaters in the competition and who thrilled us at the Olympic Games, Yuka Sato. She was 7th in Albertville, but had her problems in the original program, and she currently stands in 11th spot.
Well, Yuka is a really fun skater to watch, not only because of the speed that she has, but also because she looks like she's having fun.
doubled what was supposed to have been a triple Lutz, but after that, she's really been knocking her elements off with great consistency and great style.
Yuka skate, I just realized who she reminds me of. She reminds me of Elizabeth Manley, the way she attacks her program and her spunk. And I just realized the connection. She takes from Peter Dunfield, who also coached Elizabeth Manley.
That was unfortunate. She's into the last 20 seconds of her program, and to have a fall at that point after putting in a really strong effort is a bit disappointing. She comes back though with a nice double axel.
Apparent to Midori Ito in Japan and the 1990 World Junior Champion Yuka Sato.
Well, if you have to look at her performance here at the Worlds overall, we'd have to say that perhaps she peaked in Albertville. That, however, was a gorgeous triple toe, perhaps the nicest jump she executed in her program. This is the only big mistake she had, an attempted triple Salchow, and she's just simply...
She didn't get the rotation.
Yeah, she's under-rotated.
Well, there was a lot of pressure on her, Barb, coming in here, even though Midori Ito's not here, and perhaps because she's not here, Sato or one of the Japanese must finish in the top 10 so that they can send two skaters next year, and she's right on the bubble in 11th spot here. So these marks are critical. Mother, also a national champion and former Olympian, so now there's 3 Olympians in the family.
Yeah, I know.
And there is Peter Dunfield to the right, on the right of your screen, who, as I said before, coached Elizabeth Manley.
The first triple loop was great.
The judges are Yuka Sato for technical merit.
Considering the mistake near the end of the program, those technical marks, up to a 5.6 may be enough to move her up one spot.
5.3, 5.6. Thank you.
Look at the second mark. Vanessa Riley, who has given out some low marks, has given out a 5.8. Did Yuka pick that out right away? She has 4 first place marks, 4 second place marks, and a 5th place mark from Germany. And Sato now has moved ahead of Karen Preston into 2nd place, so the Japanese may have their top 10 finish. Back with more from Oakland in a moment. Oakland, as we continue our coverage of the women's free skate. And there has been more controversy today about Surya Bonaly. In fact, a rumor going around that she was about to turn pro and in fact was considering not skating today. But the French Federation instructed her to get out here. She was very distraught with the marks she received in the original program. And right now, Surya Bonaly stands 10th.
Well, it's obvious that the enjoyment has been taken out of skating for her with all the controversies, all the problems, everybody trying to take control of her. And that's really a shame because she does have talent. And for her to turn pro right now, I think would be a big mistake.
Goals is to do the quad, and that was an attempt there, albeit two-footed, not a bad try. Was set up in a most peculiar fashion. She literally skated right at the board. This rink is about 15 feet narrower than what she's used to skating on, and I think she panicked, saw the boards coming, and bailed out of it.
Well, early on in the program, it looked as if she was out here on a mission, like she really had something to prove, but then it really kind of went down the drain. She really sort of lost that attack that she had in the early stages of the program. Level, she really needs to take a step backwards. She needs to go back to her basics, learn the technique, because obviously it's not working for her.
No, Barb, you mentioned her technique, and here, as you look at the quad, as was with the case in most of her jumps, it's not clean. There's something wrong. This attempt is, cheated so badly, about a three-quarter turn cheat. And that was the situation with all of her jumps. She either had to put a foot down, it was under-rotated and cheated. And you'll see here in the Lutz combination, a similar problem. She couldn't break out, has to put the extra turn in before she could execute the second jump, the double toe.
Fifth at last year's World Championships and fifth at the Olympic Games. Watch the mark from the British judge, Vanessa Riley. We're just been told that her mother has left, so Suzanne Bonaly will not be at the kiss and cry area, and a lot of people feel that is the biggest problem in the Bonaly camp right now. But Vanessa Riley had her seated 22nd after the original program, and that had the Bonaly camp infuriated. At the Olympics, where she was 3rd after the original program, Riley had her seated 10th, and during the pre-program, Riley had her seated 15th, and the French Federation called that scandalous, so we'll see what that mark is.
Well, it's really a shame what has happened to her career, because she really has a lot of potential. She's still very young, but it's almost as though her career is already over before it began.
18 years of age. We mentioned the mother. I had a curious interview with her earlier this week, and Surya was most happy to answer my questions, and then Mom came along and started chastising her in French about talking to the media. While Surya continued, told me she wanted to come to the United States and perhaps skate under Frank Carroll, who she trained with last September. I got the impression she'd kind of like to come to the States to get away from that meddling mother.
For technical merit.
Well, there is the British mark, 4.7. That is clearly the low mark on the board, up to 5.6s.
5.4.
And I'm not sure if Surya is going to wait around for the second set of marks.
5.6. 5.6. And 5.2. Thank you. And her marks for artistic impression.
Here are the artistic marks, and again a 4.7, 8th place mark from the British judge, but 2 first place marks, and overall Bonaly stands 5th, and she is not going to move up very far from that 10th place after the original program. Back with more from Oakland in a moment.
Your local bottler of Diet Coke presents The Cutting Edge.
The misconception about many of the world-class competitors in figure skating is that someone very feminine like Kristi Yamaguchi is not athletic. Everyone seems to think it's the men that are the athletes. Olympic champion Kristi Yamaguchi completed 5 triples during her long program. First, the triple Lutz triple toe loop combination. She went on to an extremely difficult triple flip, beautifully executed, followed by a triple toe loop. And incredibly, at the 3.5-minute mark, she finished with a second triple Lutz jump. To win the men's Olympic title, Viktor Petrenko also completed 5 triple jumps, beginning with his combination, a triple axel triple toe loop. Then on to a triple Salchow. A beautiful triple Lutz double toe loop. And finally, a triple toe loop. Naturally, the men's jumps are bigger than the ladies, but the degree of difficulty is exactly the same. As we watch these young women perform for the World Championship, remember, these skaters must be both artistic and athletic.
Chris Cuthbert, Barbara Underhill, Paul Martini, and the CBC Sports crew back in Oakland for the final group of 6 skaters. And what's the old saying about when you're thrown off a horse? The best thing to do is get right back on. Well, it certainly applies to Laëtitia Hubert, 5th after the original program, as she was in Albertville. We made reference to that disastrous long program there. Let's see if she can redeem herself at the World Championships.
Well, she has had problems in the long program in the past, and I think the reason for that is this program is jam-packed. She has at least 7 triples planned.
Whoa, she had a little slip there in the corner. I thought she was going to go down. Opens with a very nice triple loop, which is her most consistent triple, I think.
Now the next triple plan she had problems with at the Olympics, the triple Lutz. And again, she just didn't look like she took time enough on the takeoff. She really rushed it.
triple toe combination. And that's a real sign of strength when you can sit on that right leg and get the free leg through.
Well, she also did the same on the triple flip earlier. She just really hung on to it. Got it. Now that is the first 2 minutes of her program, and she has already attempted 5 triples, landed 4. That's amazing.
Surprised that she would even have a triple scheduled at the 3:50 point of her 4-minute program. Obviously, she feels that she can do it, and I'm sure she has a number of times in practice, but when one's in competition, that's a slightly different situation.
But what is very obvious here is that this girl really trains. She had the same speed at the end of the program that she had at the beginning of the program.
Give her full marks for determination. Back with the marks for Laëtitia Hubert in a moment.
Well, it looks like she's got a monkey in her hands as opposed to on her back, because after her performance in Albertville, she did have a monkey on her back, combined with the fact that her performance at Junior Worlds was very similar. So for her, this was an excellent outing. As demonstrated here by this triple Lutz jump, good height, but unfortunately she's got her right side dropped in landing and not in a position to land it. This one she did land though. Gorgeous triple toe combination. Look at the way she just floats across that screen, back up into the second one, and here's that strength just to sit on it and push it through.
You two, I thought, made a very good point in Albertville after her disastrous skate. She wasn't emotional, and she was angry. And she was obviously determined to make amends for that here.
Well, that triple flip just showed a great determination.
And here come the marks. Great set of technical marks. 5-2 from the British judge, up to 5-7s from Switzerland and Australia, and Croatia as well.
And her marks for artistic impression.
Check that, that's the Dutch judge at 5-7. Artistic marks, she has 8 first-place marks and a 4th-place mark from Great Britain, and you hear the crowd reacting once again. But Laëtitia Hubert is currently the leader. And it's been a great year for her. All right, here is the Olympic bronze medalist, last year's world bronze medalist, Nancy Kerrigan, in 3rd place after the original program. And we were a little surprised that a mistake in that program held up to be 3rd.
Definitely surprised, but also watching her out on warm-up here just earlier, she had a look of almost terror on her face. She really did not warm up well. So hopefully she put that behind her and can really concentrate on a clean performance.
I think her first jump will set the stage for how this performance will go. She opens with a nice double axel.
Here's the jump she had problems with in warm-up, and she doubled it. She tried it at least 3 or 4 times and couldn't get it in the warm-up. The triple toe combination, barely. Opening a little bit slow and then picking it up as she goes. She did the same thing at the Olympics and the same thing at the Nationals last year. And we'll see on this triple Lutz right here. No. She did a single Lutz at the Olympics as well. Just didn't look like she got her toe into the ice properly.
About the technical abilities of these women, but what we have perhaps overlooked a little bit is the program. And for Nancy, she has one of the prettiest programs here in the women's competition, and she will receive credit for that, certainly in the artistic portion of her mark.
Well, like Kristi, she is a very complete skater. She really has it all. She has nice spin and a good quality of skating.
I think the American audience likes it a little more than Nancy herself. We'll be back with her marks when we return to Oakland. The marks for Nancy Kerrigan. One of the interesting stories of Munich, they didn't have 3 American flags, not anticipating the sweep. We can guarantee you here in Oakland they have 3 American flags at the ready, but the question is, will they need them?
Well, I spoke to Nancy right after the Olympics. Let's look at this triple toe combination first, though. And watch her just squeeze that free leg through. She really uses her strength to push that one out. The first thing she said after her performance at the Olympics was a single Lutz. She was really upset about the single Lutz. And she did it again here today. Here's the triple loop. And that she really had difficulties with. She was really leaning to her right side.
Her coach, Evie Scottvold, turned to her when she got to the kiss and cry and said, it's been a long year, and that it has for these competitors.
Well, it really is tough to come back from the Olympics to what she probably came back to. I mean, it was very exciting to win an Olympic medal. To come down from that and then to have to get back up for the World Championships in such a short time.
5.2 to 5.7, the range of marks for technical merit. It'll be interesting to see the ordinals here because she was behind Laëtitia Hubert after the original program until Tonya Harding skated and then flipped everybody, and Kerrigan ended up third. 5.9 is her high mark artistically from the Croatian judge. She has 6 first-place marks, 2 second-place marks, and a third-place mark. So Kerrigan is still ahead of Hubert. It's Kerrigan, Hubert, Claeys, and right now Karen Preston of Canada is in 5th spot. But this is a great opportunity for Josée Chouinard, the 1991 Canadian champion. Great crowd support all week here in Oakland. And Josée now fulfilling a dream to skate in the final group at a World Championship. And she does have a chance here of a bronze.
Well, one of the problems Josée has had in the past competing is that she gets overexcited. She loses her knees, she gets stiff on the landings and can't hold on to the jump. So hopefully she can really sit into this one, stay calm, and skate a clean performance.
Well, she moved 2 spots in Munich last year out of the original program. She has that opportunity here again today.
Oh, wow. That was a gorgeous triple salchow. When she does the jumps, they just look so easy for her. Here comes a difficult combination, triple flip, triple toe.
It almost looked like she didn't vault back over her toe with enough conviction and got herself into trouble.
Comes back with a great combination, triple toe, double toe. Difficult jump, the triple lutz, which she performed beautifully yesterday in the original.
I talked about Michael Slipchuk during his long performance of not being over himself, and Josée is suffering from that as well. For the 2 jumps she's missed, she simply hasn't had her body lined up after the takeoff to be in a position to land the jump.
She's starting to get stiff on the landing. That is a real sign of a gutsy competitor.
Well, up until this point, I'm somewhat surprised that the ladies' event hasn't been more consistent than this.
And we'll be back with the marks for Josée Chouinard in a moment. Back in Oakland, awaiting the marks for Josée Chouinard and the skate of the Olympic champion Kristi Yamaguchi, who's on the ice warming up.
Here we're going to say one of the jumps she did have triple with, that was the triple flip, and she wasn't strong enough. She just didn't attack the landing position of that to land the jump.
Well, what I've said before, she really gets stiff on the landing. She needs to bend into that. There she was bent on the landing, but it looked like she was a little bit over-rotated and a little bit on a lean and couldn't hold on to it.
Here's one that she did do very nicely, though, the triple toe combination. Does the first one, and then does a double toe on the end.
Her jumps just look so easy when she does them.
Well, the irony, during the warm-up, she looked the most comfortable of the final 6.
She really did. She had no problem with any of the jumps.
I think sometimes we tend to read a bit too much into a warm-up because so often the skater can look right on her game plan and then come out here and not do it.
There is Kristi Yamaguchi awaiting her skate. Kristi Neske in the background. Josée was 6 coming in. She was 6 last year in Munich and was hoping to move up. Let's see if she can. 5.1 through 5.5 for technical marks. Been a busy year for her, dealing with new fame after the national championship last year. Artistic marks go up, and Chouinard has 5 third-place marks, 3 fourth-place marks, and a 5th-place mark. And right now, she is still behind Kerrigan, Hubert, and she is 3rd. And it looks like she can hang on to her 6th-place showing with that skate. The roar goes up for the hometown girl, and the homecoming went according to plan for Kristi Yamaguchi, the leader after the original program. Trying to become the first back-to-back American world champion since Dorothy Hamill. And Dorothy, of course, great inspiration to Kristi Yamaguchi.
Well, like Josée Chouinard, Kristi really makes things look easy. And sometimes you can't tell how difficult the program is because she just makes it look almost too easy. But it is very difficult.
Well, as you watch this performance, watch her delivery. By that I mean watch the way every little arm movement, every little leg extension is there for a reason, and it's there because it's a total package.
Skating to Malagueña, choreographed by Sandra Bezek. Triple toe combination. Planned is the one jump she did have problems with at the Olympics, the triple loop. No problem there, though. And the triple Salchow is one jump that's also given her much difficulty in the past. I don't think that's going to make a bit of difference. This girl is amazing.
Barb, you indicated that her fall wouldn't make a bit of difference. Well, perhaps the only difference it would make was an opportunity to see 6.0 on her technical mark. But artistically, she still might see some because she executed 2 double axels, 6 triple jumps, and skated magnificently.
She is, no doubt, the best in the world.
Well, these fans certainly don't need to see the marks, but we'll be back with the judges' marks when we return to Oakland. We're back in Oakland where they are still cleaning the ice from the flowers which have showered down on to the Oakland Coliseum ice surface after that brilliant performance by Kristi Yamaguchi.
What she's saying right there, she just didn't push up the sow. It was the only mistake she made in the entire performance. I don't think she has anything to be concerned about here.
You know, what impresses me so much is we talked about the French skaters with all the pressure they had at the Olympics in Albertville. The same expectations were here, and instead of using it as a problem, she said, I was just energized by the people here in the Bay Area.
Wow.
And she was determined to perform for them.
Well, she really looked like she had a spark out there today that was maybe a little bit lacking in the original program. She looked a little bit stiff yesterday, but boy, was she on today.
Lots been said about her marketability after the Olympics. There was an article in Business Week suggesting that being a Japanese American, she may not be in demand as much, but clearly the corporate sponsors have been lining up. And why not? She's got it all, including another great set of marks. The only question left is, what are her plans for the future? And she has not decided whether 94 is a priority yet. Artistic marks, and as expected, 9 first-place marks for Kristi Yamaguchi, well on her way to her second straight World Championship. What a spot for this 15-year-old from China. Twice a World Junior bronze medalist, but here she is, second place after the original program. She has to follow the Olympic champion in her own backyard. And not only that, but Kristi Yamaguchi is the skater she looks up to the most.
I spoke to Lu Chen's coach earlier on in the week, and I said to her, I think that Lu is going to get a medal here. She laughed at me as though it was an impossibility, but this is very possible for her.
Well, technically, she's one of the most brilliant up-and-coming young skaters here in the women's event. But we are commenting about how we don't feel Kristi's in trouble, and the difference lies in the program. Even if Lu Chen and Tonya Harding, who's yet to come skate clean, their program is not what Kristi Yamaguchi has.
Opens with a gorgeous triple flat.
As you watch this young woman skate, please bear in mind she's only 15 years of age. Jump, she almost appeared to look back at her coach and as if to say, I'm going to throw it in one more time.
What I love about her skating is not just her jumping ability, but her style is really exquisite at such a young age.
15 years of age. Back with Lu Chen's marks in a moment.
There she is with her coach, Li Ming Zhu, who I spoke to earlier in the week. And she was asking me about training in Canada because they are very interested in coming to Canada this summer to train.
Well, she has worked with the great coach Carlo Fassi, who coached world champion Jill Trenary, as well as Olympic champion Dorothy Hamill, but obviously they don't feel you can offer them what they're looking for more. Here's the combination that she nailed early in the program. Beautiful triple toe, double toe, nice flow.
I'm just so impressed with the maturity that she has at such a young age.
She wasn't sure when she came off the ice, and they're still not sure. Those technical marks not as high, and the artistic marks don't come up as high as I think they expected. They have a 7th place mark from the British judge, 8 from Switzerland. Their best mark is 4th place from judges from Hungary, Croatia, and Australia, and she's fallen out of the top 3, now in 4th behind Yamaguchi, Kerrigan, and Hubert. Now let's join Brian Williams backstage with Josée Chouinard. Welcome back to the Oakland Coliseum. Last year it was an unprecedented American sweep of the podium in Munich. And Tonya Harding has a chance to make it 1, 2, 3 for the USA once again. She is 4th after the original program.
Apparently after the Olympics, Tonya came home, changed coaches. They looked at her blades. The mounting was wrong on her blades. So she bought new blades, had them remounted, and maybe that will make the difference. Who knows? Very solid triple sow cow. Josée, when she gets nervous, she gets stiff knees, and it's very difficult to land the jump.
Her attempt at a triple axel to be the only lady here in this competition that's executed didn't pan out. I'm somewhat surprised she'd even attempt that jump, because the only other woman in the world who even does it in her program is Midori Ito. Midori's not here, so why run the risk?
Well, it's the one thing that gives her the edge. Period. The program was a very weak effort. She only executed 2 triples of what she attempted, and she left some out. And I think she made a
a very, very large mistake by going home and attempting to put together a new performance, 2 new programs in a span of 3 weeks for this competition.
We'll find out what the judges think when we return to the Oakland Coliseum. Part of her skating name. You mentioned that she came home, changed her 2 programs, but she changed her coach as well and her persona. She wanted to stress artistry.
Here's the attempted triple axel. She really gets on a lean and is not over top of that landing foot at all.
It's been so inconsistent throughout, even from the games. I really question why she would attempt it.
Here's one of her better attempts. Triple Salchow, but that was supposed to be a combination, and she just looked too tired to even attempt it.
The triple axel caught me by surprise too, because she played it down so much yesterday. She doesn't want to be known for just the triple axel anymore. Well, those marks are quite a reaction from the crowd here, and those don't look like medal-winning marks.
Well, the marks are low because she really only landed 2 triples, and they were both the same triple, both triple Salchows.
There was never any doubt about who was winning here, but whether or not there'd be an American sweep, and there won't be. She has an 11th place mark from Switzerland, and Tonya Harding drops to 6th place, and that's great news for Josée Chouinard. And we also have a flip in the ordinals here. Yamaguchi wins, Kerrigan is 2nd, but Lu Chen moves back ahead of Laëtitia Hubert to win the bronze. Hubert 4th, Chouinard improving on her 6th place finish a year ago. She finishes in 5th spot. Now let's join Brian Williams with the 2-time world champion.
All right, Kristi, congratulations. You've come full circle from Munich a year ago at this time, now 2 world championships and an Olympic championship. Chris Cuthbert said you were energized by this crowd as opposed to being nervous.
Oh, of course, coming into Oakland, I was really excited to be with the hometown crowd, and feeling their electricity coming into my performance was great. They were wonderful.
So no butterflies at all?
Oh, of course there are butterflies. Each time I go out there are, but I used it in a positive way, and it came through in the performance. Can
you quickly tell me about the program? Anything you were disappointed with?
I think the obvious thing is the triple style that I went down on, and it's like, come on, let's do it again like you did at the U.S. Nationals, but it didn't quite go up as well.
What do you say to yourself after you're down? You just say, look, I got to pick it up. I've got this under control?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't too much of a surprise, but I knew I had a strong program, and if I finished it strong, I would be okay.
All right. I know viewers in Edmonton where you train, looking in tonight at Royal Glenora. What are your future plans? You going to turn professional, or are you going to come back for next year?
I still have no word on what my plans will be in the near future. I know I'll be going on tour, and we'll make some decisions after that where my skiing career will go.
All right, Kurt Browning, what did he just have to say to you backstage here?
Oh, he's just happy it went so well, and he's always been real positive there and real encouraging.
All right. Congratulations, a world championship for Kristi Yamaguchi in front of the hometown fans. Stay with us. CBC's coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships will continue.
Kristi Yamaguchi, her 2nd world title.
Well, for Kristi, this must be a very, very special moment because she's already had perhaps a dream season. She had never been a U.S. national championship. She won that title in January. Then she went on to become the Olympic champion in Albertville, and now to win her 2nd world title in what in essence is her own backyard. It certainly is a dream type of year.
Well, I was speaking to her coach at the Olympics, Kristi Neske, and she said that they weren't expecting this until 1994, and that now they really didn't know what was going to happen, but that most probably she would stay in until 94.
Best result ever for Nancy Kerrigan, a world silver medal to go along with her Olympic and world bronze. But we did not see Nancy Kerrigan at her best here.
Well, unfortunately, in the women's event today, the skaters placing number 2 through 6 skated marred performances, and not just by a little bit. Everyone had some sort of serious difficulty out there, and that presents the judges with perhaps the most difficult situation when it comes to judging a competition.
It was a competition a little bit like the Olympics. There were a lot of mistakes, except for the winner, Kristi.
And what a moment for a 15-year-old from Changchun, China. Lu Chen, bronze medalist the last 2 years at the world junior level. Who'd have thought she'd be on the podium here today?
this must be the first ever medal for the Chinese in figure skating, because we have never seen a Chinese skater anywhere near the top. It's really, really nice to see.
Here, back with more from Oakland after this. And let's again review the final results. Kristi Yamaguchi winning her second straight World Championship. Last year, Nancy Kerrigan was the bronze medalist. This year, the silver, and Lu Chen makes it an historic day for China. Their first medal, and it is a bronze medal. Laëtitia Hubert of France finishes fourth, and Josée Chouinard of Canada, fifth place finish, so she moves up one spot from last year. Karen Preston in ninth place. Well, it was indeed a very interesting competition, a clear-cut champion in Kristi Yamaguchi. However, there will be a lot of talk about the judging for the silver and bronze medal, Barb.
Well, the judging here today reminded me a lot of the men's event at the Olympics. What happened was the skaters who were expected to skate well, the top skaters, did not skate well, except for Kristi. Then the younger skaters that are unknown, that are coming up, did skate well. So you get a real mishmash of ordinals in there, and when it all comes out in the wash, you see some unusual results, like Nancy Kerrigan, who didn't skate well at all, but is sitting in second place.
Clearly, it's an easier job for the judges when the skaters skate as well as they can, and Kristi Yamaguchi made it rather academic as far as the gold medal was concerned. So, Paul, the big question now, after a 92 Olympic gold and a World Championship, what does she do next?
Well, Chris, we've talked a lot on this platform about what Kurt Browning is going to do because he doesn't have an Olympic gold medal. But Kristi Yamaguchi not only has the Olympic gold, but she's also the current two-time world champion. So she really is in the driver's seat. If she wants to exercise the option of sticking into Lillehammer, I don't see anybody out here yet that can challenge her. But she's also in a position at this point that if she wants to turn professional and do whatever she wants to do, because that's the only difference right now between being professional and amateur. As a pro, you can do whatever comes your way. As an amateur, you're under the restriction of what the ISU will allow you to do. So she's got an interesting situation. It'll be interesting to see what she does with it.
Speaking of interesting, all these new faces, the ladies' competition will be interesting for the next few years.
Well, it was great to see, especially in the original program, some new names. Lu Chen of China, Laëtitia Hubert of France, Claeys, who we've never seen before. A lot of skaters that we're seeing for the first time that are already in the top 10 in the world. It's really amazing to see.
A couple of seconds on the Canadians, Paul.
Well, Chris, I think the big thing for Josée Chouinard is the fact that she has to know in her own heart, if only she could put down two strong performances, she too could possibly be standing on the podium. For Karen Preston, a bit of a disappointment. She was 8th at the Olympics. She finished 9th here. But again, for the two of them, not a bad outing.
Well, a great performance, and now we hand it back to Brian Williams.
All right, Chris, this wraps up 5 days of coverage from here in California, the World Championships. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. A program note, the Judo Awards are next, followed by Sunday Report. And just a reminder, speaking of Sunday, 1 week from tonight, Sunday evening, we will have the Parade of Champions, a special 2-hour show from here in California. And now for Chris Cuthbert, Barbara Underhill, and Paul Martini, plus our entire crew, the production and technical people at CBC Sports, from the World Championships, I'm Brian Williams. Good night from California.
The 1992 World Figure Skating Championships from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in Oakland, California.